Good morning, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News, coming to you from our digital desk. We're about to take you to the sentencing of Cameron Drury. Cameron is just walking into the courtroom. We'll show you that, just sat down there. This young man is 20 years old and has already pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter. Now, his role in the shooting of three teenagers who were in a car, and it killed 17-year-old Tyrese Martin Kroom. So not only is he being sentenced for that, but he's also being sentenced for his role in the 2024 murder of Alexander Gurley in Cleveland Heights. So both of those issues, two separate issues here, two separate crimes, two people who died, is what he's being sentenced for. In the first case, he pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter. In the second case, in the death of Alexander Gurley of Cleveland Heights, he's pleaded guilty to aggravated robbery and kidnapping in that case. And just as they brought in Mr. Drury, it looks like the judge has called the attorneys back to her chambers. Generally doesn't happen when the defendant is actually in court. They usually wait to bring the defendant in until the judge has had the conferences, and it looks like there are family members in the gallery as well. But again, these were two separate crimes taking place both in July, but one was in 2023, the other was in 2024. In the first case, and we see the prosecuting attorney taking his laptop back, suggesting this may take a while, but let's say it again. So let's make a correction here. He has not pleaded guilty in the second case. The second case involving the death of Alexander Gurley of Cleveland Heights. He is accused of aggravated robbery, kidnapping in that case. And so we'll wait to see, and that may be the discussion that the judge is having with the attorneys in her chambers, is what are they going to do with this second case. This was actually supposed to be a sentencing at 10 o'clock. We're already an hour and a half late. But again, he has already pleaded guilty to the shooting of 17-year-old Tyrese Martin Kroom. That was in July 2nd of 2023. Tyrese was in a car with three other teenagers. Tyrese was 17 years old. The other two victims who were shot but survived, they were both 16 years old. One of them had a gunshot wound to the hand and the arm, and the third young man, 16 years old, took a gunshot to the face. But this is a sentencing for the murder of Tyrese Martin Kroom, of which Drury has already pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter. That's the sentencing we're here for today, but as we said, he's also connected to a murder in 2024 of Alexander Gurley in Cleveland Heights. So you had an individual who was out and on the run for a year and had played some alleged role in a second murder in Cleveland Heights. In that case, he's looking at an aggravated robbery and kidnapping in that case. So we will wait for the judge to come back out of her chambers with the attorneys for both sides. As we wait, we'll just listen into the court. And they're back. Well, that was good timing. So now let's get to the sentencing and see what they do with that second case.
Case number CR 690556, State versus Cameron Drury, and also on case number CR 699, also State of Ohio versus Cameron Drury. Are you Mr. Drury?
Yes.
All right, and representing Mr. Drury for the record.
Attorney Scott Ramsey, Attorney Clarissa Smith.
Good morning, thank you. And representing the State of Ohio.
Andrew Blake on behalf of the State of Ohio.
Erica Sandra on behalf of the State of Ohio.
Thank you so much. And we are here for sentencing. The PSI was waived. I would ask the government if they have anything they would like to present.
The state is in receipt of the PSI. No corrections or additions at this time.
Is it? What PSI?
Yeah, there was no PSI.
Oh, sorry. Your Honor, we're here for sentencing of two cases. I'll start with case CR 25-699-623. In this case, the court is likely more familiar with as we just concluded trial on a co-defendant. However, in that case, on Thursday, January 4th, 2024, there was a robbery at 3318 East Overlook Drive in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. On that date, Rayanna Marin, who was selling AirPods, responded to a sale that she had organized on Instagram. Someone reached out to her, decided to buy some AirPods. That location was provided by the purchaser. When she arrived, she pulled into the wrong driveway. A black Jeep pulled behind her, blocking her in the driveway, and multiple individuals with masks and guns approached her, stripped her of her vest, took her car, and took her merchandise that she brought with her, including some cash that she had on her. She called the police thereafter, and several hours later, in connection to this robbery, but not Ms. Merritt, there was a homicide at the scene. Several individuals were indicted for both the homicide and the aggravated robbery. Mr. Drury was at the aggravated robbery based on his cell phone location and his Instagram activity. Luckily for Mr. Drury, he was at work at Amazon, I believe, at the time of the homicide, so he was not involved in that incident on January 4th. However, in case CR 24-690-556, there was a homicide that Mr. Drury was connected to and did plead guilty to. On Sunday, July 2nd of 2023, at approximately 1:40 in the morning, 5th District police officers responded to St. Clair and London in connection with the reported shooting. When officers arrived, they found a red Kia Forte on the north sidewalk of St. Clair Avenue that was very obviously shot up. The driver, Tyrese Martin Kroom, was found deceased in the vehicle, and there was two others in the vehicle, his passengers, Rondell Dobson and Amir Larkin, who were shot but alive and were transported to the university hospitals. Rondell Dobson was on Instagram at the time. He broadcasted the location, and shortly thereafter, a black Jeep appeared with multiple individuals, again masked with firearms, and shot multiple rounds into the vehicle, eventually striking all three. Jordan Hicks, Jalen Hicks, and Daedrin Carter were also indicted with this homicide. However, again, Cameron Drury's phone had a data session in the area at the time of the homicide. For these two cases, the state and defense have agreed upon a range of 10 years. The state is asking that this court uphold the state's recommended sentence at this point. I do also have a couple victims representing Mr. Kroom, Martin Kroom, that would like to address the court if the court would allow. His sister, Janae Kroom, is present and would like to give a brief statement.
Sure. Ms. Kroom?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm Susan Kennedy, victim advocate with the prosecutor's office.
Yes.
I'm going to first read a statement on behalf of Tyrese's father.
Okay.
He was unable to be here today due to being at work.
Okay.
On behalf of the father of Tyrese Martin, Mr. Kroom would like to say thank you to the court personnel for the opportunity to express his feelings in court. Needless to say, he is still devastated that his son's life was cut short in such a tragic way. T.I. laid on the street several hours, and the image haunts him daily. He wants everyone involved to receive the maximum sentence allowed by law. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so that was for Tyrese.
Yes.
And who is Mark?
His name is Tyrese Martin.
Tyrese Mark. Okay, thank you. Okay, I was a little confused. All right. Yes, ma'am.
Today, I speak on behalf of my brother, Tyrese Kroom. On July 2nd, 2023, you all took my protector, my heart, my little brother, a smile that I had to go back on pictures to see and videos that I had to listen to very hard to hear his voice, read old messages to remember the love that he shared with us. You put me and my family through a pain I never thought I could feel at such a young age. You didn't know my brother like us. Anytime he came, he brought light to any room. My whole family heart has been broken and can't be repaired. He was only a child at the time, and for you all selfless act, our lives will never be the same again. From the empty chairs at the table, I now wear my brother in an iron around my neck to keep him close to my heart. However, there's nothing in this world that can bring him back, and for that I truly hate you all. But in our eyes, prison will never be enough. But we have to do for now the amount of pain I feel no sister or family should ever have to feel, and for that I blame you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
No one else from either family. And just for the record, Your Honor, I obviously you met Ms. Merritt the other day of the trial. She was contacted and informed of the sentencing and did not wish to be present.
Okay.
Nothing further from the state.
Thank you so much. Okay, anything from the defense?
Yeah, just briefly, Your Honor, we would ask this honorable court to enforce the agreement that the state and defense have reached in this matter. You know, Cameron, you can tell from the support that he has here in the courtroom, you know, was going down a certain path. He was going to the University of Toledo. He's a student athlete, smart young man. I think he got caught up with the wrong crowd, to be honest. Some of the co-defendants in this case that were severed from this case, to be particular. But he is sorry about this. He's sorry about this path that he's gone down. And it's our hope that he gets credit for time served and he can get this sentence behind him and lead a productive and positive life once he does get out. So we ask this honorable court to enforce the agreement that we've come up with in this case. Very serious charges, very serious penalty that he's going to have to face. And we ask the court to uphold that agreement.
Thank you. Does anybody else wish to speak?
Just Cameron himself.
Okay.
Honor, I want to apologize for what happened. I want to let you know I'm not a bad person. Just because I was charged with a crime does not mean I'm guilty of the crime. I want to let you know that I appreciate whatever you sentenced me today. I want to apologize to my victim's family as well. I want to apologize to my family as well. That's all.
Okay, well, I want to talk to you for a minute before you just sit down. You have to help me understand how somebody with so much promise, who got so far, who was a standout, got you sitting there at the defense table in an orange jumpsuit. I don't understand. And when I go out in the community and people say, what is going on with the young people? I don't know what to tell them. So what should I say? What should I say? Because I know that there are influences out there. I get that. But you know, everybody isn't influenced. Just because the influence is there doesn't mean you have to be influenced by it. And at some point, they're going to say you are the bad influence. I don't know who those other co-defendants are, but in some courtroom, or if it's here or wherever, they might say, well, Cameron was the bad influence. I was hanging with Cameron. So I don't know. I don't know, but can you help me understand? Do you have any insight? You've been in jail how long?
2 years almost.
You've been in jail almost 2 years. You had to have been thinking, this is not what you had planned to do. You had to have been thinking that your parents and your family is like, what in the world happened to Cameron? Why did he go this way? Why did he go left when he had everything to live for? You were like a standout football player, right? Somebody told me that you were on ESPN. You made a touchdown and won a game or something. Did that happen? That was you? So how does the touchdown hero just sit there? Tell me.
Wrong decisions.
But why? Why? Why wasn't that enough? Why wasn't it enough for you to be in college and play football and to graduate and come out and play football or coach or work in IT or be a bus driver or whatever? Why wasn't that enough? I mean, I saw the video of you with the girl's jacket on. I saw that. You weren't sorry. You were flexing. Look what I got from this hard-working young lady. I took her jacket. I mean, you can't just say, I'm sorry, and sit down. I mean, you got what? I'm sure the whole world wants to know. How do we prevent that? If there's a Cameron Drury in the back right there, what do you tell him?
These people not squeaky clean either. These people do stuff to other people too.
So what?
You know how hard it be if somebody mess with you, do something to you, shoot at you, arm you. You know how hard it is to just let it go, brush it over the shoulder, keep going with my life.
What did she do to you?
What
did Miss Mary?
She had people shoot shots at me too.
Miss
She
Mary.
had people shoot at me too.
Okay. So you can't just like leave people
These
alone?
people just because they
Go ahead, I'm listening.
I'm not saying they got what they deserve. Don't nobody deserve death. These people do stuff to harm people, other people too. These people do stuff they're not supposed to be doing too.
Okay.
Just because I got caught for it, I'm accepting I'm accepting my fate. I got jail. That's gonna happen.
Okay, so it's eye for an eye. That's the thing.
That's not
Then
how
what
she
is
go,
it?
but
Somebody did something to you, so you're gonna do something to them?
it's hard to just brush the other shoulder when so much stuff keep happening.
But why? Tell me why. Don't just say that. Why? You've been in jail 2 years. Why is it that you think that because somebody did something to you, that you got to turn around and do something to them, or that what you do is justified? Why do you think that? For 2 years sitting back there? You should have something more profound to say. That's what a little kid's vision of the world is like. Not somebody who graduated, who was in college and did all that kind of stuff. You're supposed to have some more introspection. You're not going to be like, oh, well, they did this to me, so it's okay if I do that to them. That's childish. That's what you said. So if I'm saying it, if I'm interpreting it wrong, please explain.
I just said it's hard to just be like, okay, I'm just finished go on with the rest of my life. I got brothers that passed away too. I got family members that passed away too. It's hard to just fucking I'm like
Okay.
keep going with my life. It's hard.
I
It's
get that.
hard.
But what makes it
Just like
hard?
making-
What makes it
I
hard?
make mistakes. Everybody make mistakes.
Yeah, they do. But what makes it hard for you to say, you know what, despite it all, I'm going to make something of myself? Despite it all, because there's bad people everywhere.
I tried.
How does that?
I was
What do you mean
trying.
try? Mr.
I
Drury,
was trying.
come on. Come on. You're going to have 10 years to rethink your worldview. That is not a worldview for somebody who had so much going on. You can't just say it's hard to not get pulled in because so many people have done so many bad things to me. That's not acceptable. Because look where it got you. You got to be more strong-minded than that. You got to be like, yeah, I've been done wrong, but I'm not going to perpetuate it. And I'm sure this isn't the first time you heard this. I'm sure somebody sitting in the back has told you this. Somebody raised their hand. Somebody told you this already. You knew this. You did not have to touch the hot stove yourself to see that it's actually hot. Somebody told you. Don't touch it, Cameron. It's already hot. You don't need to touch it. And you can do some other things. So I hope when you get out that you do some really rich introspection, because if you don't, when you come out, you're going to be the same. And that means you can justify anything that you do going forward because of what somebody did to you in the past. And if you get out in 10 years and that's the same thing, you have not grown past that philosophy, then you would have wasted 10 years. And then you might get some more because you might get caught up again. How old are you? I mean, you were a gladiator. You were a gladiator. And you decided to be something else. So I don't let people come in here and just say something flip like, well, you know, I just got caught up. Well, you know, it's like that because they did stuff to me. It's got to be deeper than that. And yeah, you want me to stop talking. I get it. I know. But I'm sure somebody told, there was something in your ear. There was something in your, somebody was talking in your ear at some point and you didn't want to hear that voice. But when people go, you got to think about this. You got to think about this because our community cannot sustain itself with people who think that what they do is justified. It cannot. I hope it was worth it. Case number 24-690556A, the involuntary manslaughter count 1. I sentence you to 5 to 7.5 years pursuant to the Reagan-Totes. So I am imposing a minimum term from within the currently established sentencing range and a maximum term of an additional 50% of the minimum term imposed. So your release is presumed to occur at the expiration of the minimum term. However, the Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections may, under certain circumstances, rebut that release presumption and impose additional prison time of up to the maximum term. So if you get down there to wherever they send you and they say, okay, he's doing well, he's doing the programming, he's a nice guy, he's changed his thinking and all of that, then they might let you go in 5 years. But if you get down there and you cut up and you do things that you shouldn't be doing and you justify bad behavior because of somebody else's bad behavior and all that, somebody, I don't even know who they are, some nameless, faceless person can say, you know what, he can stay for the whole 7.5 or 6 or 6.5 or whatever. That's the power that they have under this law is Reagan-Totes, and it applies to you. So in a perfect world, you get out in 5 for that. Plus you got to do the gun spec. The gun spec has to be served first and consecutive. So that's 6 years. So just on that one case with the that Kia case, for whatever reason, you thought that was important. It's a minimum of 6 years, but you can do as much as 8.5? 8.5, just on that. So on case number 699632, it's the aggravated robbery. It's a felony of the first degree, no gun specs. I sentence you to a flat 4 years to be served consecutively to the prior case. Now, do I need to not have language about why it's consecutive? Do I have to have language about why it should be consecutive?
No, it's just, we should be, we don't know.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
The aggregate sentence is 10 years, correct?
Okay, yes. So in a perfect world, the 4 plus the 6 in the other case would be 10. But you can do longer, depending on how you act. So I hope when you get out, you've learned something and that you will apply it to a whole new life. Good luck.
Your Honor, sorry to interrupt. The only additional advisement, I believe, would be post-release control.
Okay. Okay, so Mr. Drury, you eventually are going to get out. But when you get out, you are subject to post-release control. And that post-release control is a mandatory minimum of 2 years and up to a maximum of 5 years. Okay, so you're not just scot-free. You still have some people supervising you for the next 2 to 5 years. If you're placed on post-release control, you are going to be placed on post-release control, and you violate it, the adult parole authority is authorized to return you to prison for up to a maximum of 1/2 of the original sentence imposed. So that's 5 years. You got 10 years, that's the original sentence, so he can do up to 5, is that right? Do the gun specs and everything? Yes. So they can send you back. If you are convicted of a new felony while on post-release control, in addition to being punished for the new offense, I could add an additional consecutive prison term of 1 year or whatever time remains on your post-release control term, whichever is greater or the maximum time. And while you are on post-release control and you fail to report to the parole officer, you could be charged with escape, which is another felony. Do you understand all of that? Okay.
Two more things.
Yes.
I think the court may have neglected to sentence on the receiving stolen property.
Oh, I
And I would just suggest that it run concurrent to the sentence.
Yes. Thank you. I'm sorry. On count 14 in case number 690556, the receiving stolen property, a felony of the 4th degree, is 12 months, and that runs concurrent to the involuntary manslaughter time.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
one other thing.
Yes.
You didn't address fines and court costs. My client is indigent at this time. We would ask the court to waive any fines and court costs.
All fines and costs will be suspended or waived.
Thank you.
Okay, it's a sad day. Very sad day, but I wish you well.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and stand up, exit the door.
Dan DeRose with 19 News. The judge, Judge Lauren Moore, had more than a mouthful for Cameron there. As you heard, he was a star football player. He was in college at the time of this incident, and she really laid into him, saying, "Why does this keep happening? Why did you choose this?" His explanation was that some people had done some bad things to him, and that was how he was justifying it. She really, that's more than I see most judges say, but she laid into him, saying that's no excuse, that this cycle has to stop of, well, they did it to me, they shot at me, so I'm going to shoot at them. What's eye-opening, I guess we'll say that, is he only gets 6 years for causing the death of Tyrese Martin Kroom, shooting at him and 2 others in a car, killing him. He gets 6 years from that, and then there was the second incident where the young woman sounds like she was in the wrong place at the wrong time trying to sell some AirPods. They blocked her into a driveway, stripped the coat off of her, took her car, took her earbuds, and for that he gets 4 years for aggravated robbery. So involuntary manslaughter, he gets 6 years, but aggravated robbery, he gets 4 years for a total of 10. An interesting sentencing there by Judge Lauren Moore. We're going to wrap this up. Our noon news is just about to get underway on Channel 19, so tune into that. And then, of course, 3.5 hours of news and first alert weather on Channel 19 starting at 3 o'clock. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19. Have a good afternoon.